Food is fuel, or from the data and analytics perspective, input equals output. I'm Jessie Papirio.
And I'm Kristen Papirio. We're the co-founders of Rise Nutrition. Rise Nutrition is a social enterprise with an innovative software tool that delivers nutrition research and data analytics.
What would it look like if people could fuel their bodies ideally? Your body's carrying out thousands of processes, mental, physical, and biological. And we fuel those processes by what we eat and drink. So what if you had a lens into how, when, and where your body used that fuel? Because how you fuel your body directly impacts your performance overall, on the field, at work, in the classroom, and in quality of life. And the food you have access to determines the quality of your health. Eating is highly individual, but it's also social. We eat together with our teams, our families, and our friends. The nutrition and health of these groups can be improved through the food system around them. This applies to a football team in Massachusetts or a community of farmers in El Salvador. Whether a community or a team, the food environment dictates everyone's health and performance potential.
Rise Nutrition understands this. The relationship between food access and nutrition is at the core of our nutrition analysis. For anyone concerned with group performance and health, from athletic coaches to community leaders, Rise provides insight into the link between food access and individual nutrition requirements that give any team, any community, the tools to fuel peak performance and improve health. Rise Nutrition has a software analysis tool that addresses nutrition need in small population groups like teams and communities. We call this tool the Ideal Nutrition Construct, or INC. Starting from the latest and most in-depth nutrition research, and combined with individual anthropometrics like height, weight, age, reproductive status. INC uses machine learning models to provide insight specific to a group's activity, food habits, preferences, food access, and health.
We have two target markets. The first is collegiate and professional athletic teams looking to optimize nutrition for performance. For this market, we offer recommendations on fuel needs and nutrient timing that are specific to sport and position. And the second is communities experiencing malnutrition and food insecurity. INC helps discover the food access pain points that contribute to nutrition deficiencies in order to design intervention projects.
The INC software design was guided by market validation research conducted with athletes, coaches, team dietitians, athletic trainers, and administrators in college and professional athletics. We proved the concept in our pilots with college football players, and 10 teams across different sports agreed to beta test version 1 of the product.
I was doing this type of nutrition assessment and intervention work in Central America in my early career, and I found that development organizations were looking for a way to monitor and quantify the impact of their work at a local level. And families were concerned about the health of their children and communities, but felt powerless to make changes because of their poverty and lack of education. No competitor offers the capabilities of INC. The data analytics and research to understand nutrition and behavior change exist in science and academics, but those tools aren't accessible to the people who need them. Think about fueling a race car. The type of fuel and the rate of burn are precise and closely monitored. An elite athlete should fuel their body in much the same way. It's not just a matter of making sure the right nutrients are there. It's making sure they're there in the right amount, ratio, and timing for training, recovery, and competition.
For teams, Rise Nutrition licenses a data analytics tool for optimizing nutrition and training in the form of a user-friendly dashboard and mobile application. INC gives team dietitians the ability to work with more athletes. Most college athletic departments have between 300 and 600 student athletes, women's and men's teams playing various sports. So instead of only being able to work with a handful of at-risk athletes, with INC, the team dietitian now has the ability to leverage nutrition as an advantage in training and performance for every athlete in the department. INC gives team dietitians, athletic trainers, and coaches point-in-time data on athlete nutrition, sport-specific databases of fueling needs, the ability to monitor position groups, and strategies for diet optimization.
Rise Nutrition uses the same analytics tool internally to help community leaders and ministers understand the nutrition needs of their people. Depending on the community context and the needs, these solutions can be educational, clinical, agricultural, a matter of socioeconomics or policy reform. But the key is that they're always local and community driven. Rise Nutrition works in Bajo Lempa, El Salvador. We discovered that the poorest families in these communities were eating an indigenous plant called chipilín. This plant grows as an unchecked weed in the region. The Inc. analysis discovered that this plant actually contains many of the vitamins that children need. So we worked with a local NGO to design education and instruction programs for the women to expand its use when cooking. This effectively solved the chronic malnutrition issues in the community without having to do an intensive intervention or change the food habits of the community. The global sports technology, sports nutrition, and sports performance markets combined are estimated to be valued at between $10 to $15 billion annually. Rise Nutrition cuts across all three of these markets. And sales projections indicate that we have the capacity to capture between 1% to 2% of that market in our first 3 years. It's not lost on us that the sports market is and will be drastically impacted by what's going on globally right now. We, like many people and businesses, are waiting to see the changes that will come. Rise Nutrition aligns with people's values. Performance and health are an innate part of human nature. Inc. has a widespread and high sustaining demand. The needs of communities are ongoing throughout this time, and athletes will be ready to compete when the time comes. Rise Nutrition is right there with them.
The Inc. software will be licensed to collegiate and professional athletic teams in the United States and Europe. We've established a graduated scale of annual license fees for individuals, teams, and athletic departments. The pricing structure will include freemium and promotional pricing for early adopters of the software. The pricing model is competitive with available nutrition analysis and performance software. As a social enterprise, Rise Nutrition operates with a dual business model. Profits from software sales are used to subsidize project costs in developing communities. Universities and professional teams are interested in having a social impact. Our business model supports this value. It promotes the mission we share and drives engagement from our customers. Our 3-year financial projections are based on the assumption that professional and collegiate sports will resume in the fall of 2020. Right now, much is unknown about the ongoing economic and health crisis, but sports is all about resilience. Athletes and coaches are operating differently than usual, but my brother is a college football coach, and recruitment for the fall season is ongoing. Drafts will happen remotely, and athletes whose Olympic hopes have been pushed out a year are figuring out how to be creative with their training to be ready when competition resumes. When fans are clear to go to games, they will. Operating for the time being on these assumptions, we have agreements with paid pilots with 10 teams putting the sales for year 1 at $25,000. We'll open a seed round of $300,000 in Q4 of 2020, which will continue through Q1 of 2021. Based on our strong network in the athletic world and marketing strategy, we expect to reach $180,000 in sales in year 2 and clear $500K in year 3.
Rise Nutrition has a multidisciplinary team with experience spanning several industries, from data and analytics to information technology, software engineering, food, nutrition, agriculture, and public health. With the experience of this team, Rise Nutrition can offer a data-driven solution to fuel performance and improve health.